Obviously, we had to rearrange our schedule due to the voting situation on Tuesday, where all Pac-12 teams are actually can't practice. So we'll practice this evening. Players will come in around 5. We'll have some meetings, and we'll go on the football field around 7 o'clock and have a practice this evening, excuse me. And then tomorrow we're off, and then we'll get into our routine, obviously, for the rest of the week. Playing USC, not a whole lot to be said about those guys. They're very talented on all sides of the ball. It's kind of interesting. They're playing 2 quarterbacks right now. They're kind of rotating them when you watch them play. Very talented. Drake London, I would like to say for him, my prayers go out to him. He was injured. He's out for the rest of the year. That's a shame. And you hate for any player to be injured, but a guy like that obviously has a lot of potential and is going to play in the National Football League. You hate for that to happen to a guy. And my prayers go out to him. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. With that being said, obviously the SC game is an important game for us. It's a game in our conference. And there are a lot of players, obviously, from California. This is always kind of one of those games. A lot of these guys know each other. There's always some chippiness, it seems, when these 2 teams get together. But they're playing well. They're talented. And they're doing a good job of playing offense. They got some really talented players on defense. So we anticipate them coming in here and playing well against us. And we got to start playing well. We got to play a whole game. Can't play in halves. And I think if we can get back to our momentum and get going again, starts for us early in games. I think we got to get it going early, offensively and defensively, and then just play a full game. We haven't played a full game. We're playing a half of football games, and not going to win like that. And obviously last week, 5 turnovers is very difficult. So that's kind of where it's at. Questions?
Questions? Got 2 mics, if you don't mind.
How you doing, Hod?
Good.
How you doing, Hod Rubino, Devil's Digest? Mike Tyson said that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And the first 3 drives, 3 turnovers, that was probably the punch in the mouth. Is it hard to reconcile that type of performance coming out of bye week with so much on the line? But as far as the South Championship, I mean, is it something you really can put on your finger after the fact to come out the way you did after a bye week?
I wish I could, but I have no answer for that except the fact that it happened to us and we didn't react in a way to give us a chance. And I think it's all about the reaction of what happens to you. How do you handle adversity? And we didn't respond. We kind of responded in the 4th quarter, but then at that point we're in a catch-up mode, and everything is very difficult. So I just think no one wants to start a football game with their 2 possessions to turn the ball over. I mean, that's not anticipated. That hadn't been the way we performed. But here again, in 2 games, a second half of a football game and the first half of a football game has really been not good, and has given us a way to look at ourselves and say, how do we get that fixed? And that's part of my responsibility, and that's what we got to try to do, get it fixed.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Obviously, there was a lot of high hopes and expectations for this team, and a lot of that seems like it's not really possible at this point. So how do you get the guys to focus and get them motivated and back up again when what they seemingly had to play for doesn't seem attainable anymore?
Well, I think every week the thing you realize that there's so much put into this. And what you get out of it is the joy of winning a game. And we haven't felt that in 2 weeks. And that's what football is really about. It's about the process of when it starts, of every week you have an opportunity to win a game, and the joy you feel and the accomplishment you feel as a football team to win. And we haven't felt that. We have been on the other side of it, and it doesn't feel good. And there's nothing comfortable about losing. And you can't get comfortable when you lose. You got to have a pit in your stomach. You got to walk around with that pit every day, knowing that I want the joy of winning. I want to walk in that locker room again and watch these guys celebrate and watch the joy on their faces. So there's always something to play for. It's to win a game. That's it. That's how it works. I mean, it's just, goals are fine to have in the beginning of the season, the middle of the season. But the whole deal is, can you win a football game? And we need to find a way to win a game again. So so our fan base can be happy, our players can be happy, everyone could be happy, right? And when you don't win, it becomes depressing for everybody. I mean, no one likes losing, but there's someone going to lose. That's how it works. And when it's not you, you don't think about it. But now you got to feel it. You got to feel what it feels like. And once they decide to win again, and we can win a game again, they'll get that feeling back. And that's what we got to do. It's that simple. It's really that simple. It's not very difficult. It's that simple.